In the wake of the retiring of Karma from Call of Duty, as many people refer to him as the GOAT, it was actually Nadeshot taking his stream just a day or so afterwards and talking about content creation and streaming and building a career outside of your initial career path in esports. That being pertaining to, even if it's Call of Duty pros, League of Legends pros, Fortnite pros, whoever it is, you must be making content of some sort to, of course, build yourself outside of your pro career, right? If you want to stabilize yourself and, of course, have a future in the gaming and esports scene, you cannot solely rely on your professional play, or at least Nadeshot does say this. Ironically enough, someone he learned certainly from as a peer and mentor, that being Hector Rodriguez, we have talked about, has said the same exact thing. You must be making content. You must also be a personality alongside being a player, and that's why when it comes to Huntsman Call of Duty, Hector Rodriguez blatantly says he would love to have personalities over players. Luckily enough, he has both on that roster. Here's Nadeshot in the wake of Karma retiring, saying that pro players out there must set themselves up so when they do retire, they can keep these things going.
That's just one thing I've never really understood. And there's a lot of players, man, who have been competing for a long time now, who are not necessarily on the last leg of their career, but maybe contemplating like, okay, I'm in my mid-20s, dude. I got to figure this out. What's next? And if they just spent the time building their careers and streaming more often and trying to create content, and again, maybe it's just not for some people, but I think a lot of people are realizing now that they're at the end of the road, what do I have to show for this? So that's why I encourage anybody and everybody who's involved in this space, like, just be streaming.
And the only way I'd really combat this is another story we talked about a couple weeks back, that being Shroud saying, not every esport and not every professional player out there can actually stream. A lot of times you often cannot stream your scrims, and so after your scrim times, you can be tired. It's not going to be easy, and I'm sure Nadeshot very much knows it's not easy to be a professional player alongside a content creator, but he does make, I would think a lot of people agree, a great point, because if you want this to be a longevity move, you cannot just depend upon a few years you will likely be at the top of your game. Yes, there are a lot of players out there that are making some very nice salaries, especially League of Legends scene. We recently talked about the LCS average. It's more so, it's kind of skewed, but either way, a lot of pros out there making 400K plus per year. You do that for 3, 4, maybe if you're lucky, 5, 6 years. What do you do afterwards, right? Do you go to YouTube? Do you go to Twitch? Do you go to Mixer or YouTube, whatever it might be for streaming or content creation? He does make a very good point. Of course, he is kind of an iconic example of doing so, and especially with his regrowth of his content side during these pandemic times. I think it's tough to argue this one. I think Shroud makes a great point, though. Not every pro has the same opportunities on the side, and it will take an extra step forward of effort to do so. And I can't really speak from those shoes. I've never competed at the top level. I'm sure it can be very tiring to try and practice 8, 12-hour days and then go try and make content and do it over and over again. But Nadeshot says if you want to stabilize yourself for the long-term future, for any up-and-coming pro players out there, try and work some sort of content, some sort of brand building outside of your professional play. That way, when you're done playing, well, you can keep on playing just in a more casual sense and for content creation instead. What do you guys think about this? Obviously, when it comes time for who he refers to in this main argument, that being a guy like Karma, luckily enough, all of the former Optic boys, they have that initial fan base. If they want to go do something, especially streaming, they got a pretty big head start compared to most others out there who will really have to grind, I would say, to get to that initial step. And especially now with everyone trying to do it, now is probably the better time than later on to try and get this working out as you are a pro player. Until next time, hope you guys all enjoy. I would say some more wise words from Nadeshot, and I hope pro players do take from that in the future. Until next time, though, that was weird. I didn't like that. Drink your water, drink your coffee. I'll see you guys back here next time.